The most important thing I learned is how to become a patriot, a real true patriot. You know, you're born in America, you're raised as a patriot, but you truly don't know what that means until you get around a bunch of guys that all volunteered. And by those days, there were some draftees, but you know, later on in my career, it was just volunteers. And you learn what duty, honor, country, and patriotism really is. And as you become older, you realize what an honor and a privilege it was to get to serve. The first time it was because of 9/11. You know, after, like I said, I was working in Dallas, Texas as a marketing manager for a DoD contractor, and I'd go to all these military bases, and because I was the aviation night vision goggle guy for this company. So we're trying to sell to DoD our aviation night vision goggles. There's only one other competitor besides us, and as it turned out, you know, it was a great job. I could go on Tuesday and come back Friday every single week. All expense paid. Wow. Real sweet deal. But, you know, you're away from home a lot, and I was on the wrong side of the counter. I was envying these guys still in uniform, and I'm feeling like I'm getting left out. And I'm going and I'm thinking, this is after 26 years, I'm going, why did I do this? And then, you know, 9/11 happened, and then I went to the Army Aviation, the big deal they have in Nashville. It's the Quad A convention every year. And I was serving on the wrong side of the counter, and I spoke to the command warrant officer, who's the very first one at Rucker here, and he told me that there was the recall, and that's how I found out about it. So that's what got me excited to apply to come back on active duty that particular time. I stayed for 3.5 years and at Fort Rucker, serving in the Directorate of Training and Doctrine, and then my contract was up, and I was returned back to retired status. And then I worked locally in Dothan for 3 years, and but then I had this itch. I knew that there was something missing. I knew that I needed to fulfill something that I was missing. Everybody had deployed, but in all my career, I'd gone to Korea 4 times, but I had never deployed in a combat. And so something's not quite right. And so they still had the recall for retired aviators, and I applied again, and they accepted me and said, we're going to send you to Korea on a company for 3 years. So I accepted that and went to Korea, and the brigade commander, who was just a great guy, put me to work in the brigade as his command warrant officer and his standardization instructor pilot. And from there, I worked for about 15 months, and he looked at me one day and says, why don't you go to war with me? And I said, that's why I came back in, is to deploy. And he said, well, we'll see what we can do. And we worked a deal with the HRC to get me reassigned to the 159th CAB, Combat Aviation Brigade. And I went there reassigned to Fort Campbell, and then we deployed in February of 2011 to Afghanistan for a year. The best part of being in the military is you're serving someone else greater than yourself. You know, you're serving your nation. You learn to grow up and learn to love your nation and believe that it's more important to do what you're doing for the nation than it is for yourself. That's number one. Number two, it's an adventure, and you meet a million different people. I mean, you got so many Army buddies after all those years that you know. They come and go, you lose some. There's some life friendships that you make. You gain experiences that you can never get in the civilian world. Leadership experiences. You get to grow in the service. You don't just stay stagnant in one place. And all of those experiences are so rewarding compared to just being, an 8 to 5 job 5 days a week. You don't go anywhere, you don't do anything. You're if it's just about making money, that's not what it's about. It's about what you can do for others. And you can't find true happiness until you learn to do for others, because that's more rewarding than receiving always.